Hello, welcome to Flower Juice. My name's John McDonald and today I'm going to show you how to make these really cute little sheaves of dried wheat or barley. So this is a great thing to make. Looks great on a buffet, looks great in a kitchen, and it's something you could even make as a gift for family or friends. So if you've never subscribed, then click here to subscribe and tap the bell to get notifications of all our new videos because we plan to post a video every Tuesday. So let's get started. So what I've got just some wheat, and this is the way it comes in from the supplier. So essentially it's, in a bundle and they're a bit messy. So this is going to get messy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut the band that we've got and just literally use my fingers to take out any loose debris that's in the base of our bunch. So this is maybe the type of thing you could do outside. But these are not expensive, and you can get this all year round. So maybe if you were looking for display items for a restaurant or a kitchen, then this is really quite a good item. The only thing is they are dry, so they could be flammable. So you want to make sure that either you spray them with a finish that's going to protect them, or you basically replace them as often as possible. So obviously at the end of a summer, you get fresh versions, or newly cut versions should I say, and they still have a little bit of moisture in them, so they're less flammable. But obviously if you keep it for a long time, it's going to become more flammable. But as long as you just are careful, then it's fine, but it is something to remember. So we've got our lovely wheat. Now what we're really going to do is we want to make this into like a big hand tie. So if you were going to make a really, really big one, what I would suggest is that you get a rubber band and you start with your material in a rubber band and just work it from there. But we're not going to go quite as big today, so we can really start with like a core section. And it's interesting how the heads are all at different heights. What we really want is all the heads to be at kind of similar height. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take little sections like this and just start building them up. So straight away you can see that I'm putting a twist onto this, and we can start to build it. So where I've got my finger and thumb here is really going to be our tying point, and we just work it. Now I'm quite lucky, I've got quite big hands, but if you find that you've got small hands and you're wanting to make one that's got a lot in it, then as I say, start with a rubber band, that works quite well, or tie off the middle and then you can add as you go. So potentially you could make a core, tie it and leave a long piece of twine that you then use to just add in, go round, add in, go round. So you're building up. The problem with that is that you end up having quite a lot of tie. So you would need to use one that's quite flat or quite simple. Now all these stems are hollow, so I can hold this quite tight. And it is literally just a case of working your way around. Now, if you've got like a dust allergy, then this isn't the thing. But it's interesting that maybe 15, 20 years ago, dried flowers were very much a popular item for people's homes, just popular all over. In fact, there were shops that were really just dedicated purely to dried flowers. And what we have was they were so popular, they kind of went out of fashion, and everyone got rid of them. And they haven't really come back until now. So it's interesting to see that they've started to come back. And actually, it's a really good product. The dried flowers are something that we can use to create something that's giving us a good display, but at a good cost, especially when you're using materials like this that are quite easy to get and quite in good supply. So I'm building this up. I wasn't kidding when I said it was messy. What I'm going to do is, because I want to put in all of this, we're just going to tie it and then add in as we tie. So with this one, I'm going to use like a natural twine. And this is the thing, is you need to really be like an octopus. I could really, in my life, have done with an extra arm. So now we can actually work on this a lot easier. So what I'll do is we'll just make these into little bunches. Just bring the heads together rather than some of them are lower down. So if I was doing this for myself, I would basically throw it out after a few months or after 6 months. It's just going to get drier and drier. And it's so easy to get new wheat or new barley that actually you can make them from fresh or from new, and they're nice and clean. So this was really the problem I think people had with dried materials. So they get a little bit dusty. But you can get sprays that will blast off any dust and also give some protection against the build-up of dust as well. So. Right, so this is going to really help having these little units already made. So we're just going to clear our feet a little bit here. So now I can use our twine to come round, catching that bunch, and then add in the next one. Go right round it. There's no point in being mean with the string. And I think what you want to do really is get a nice thick collar round it. So like with this one, I'm just adding it in. So the ones I showed you earlier were slightly smaller. They're definitely more manageable when you do them smaller. It depends where you're going to put it, and it depends what size you want. You could go really big, but I would make a few small ones first. So another good tip here is what I'm doing is I'm using really the bench as a rest for this. So rather than trying to hold the whole thing up, the bench is allowing me somewhere to lay the material and take the pressure off having to hold it and support it. Now, this does look a bit messy, but when we come to cut it, that's when it looks finished. Okay. So I can actually just take that cord right up through it. Just through the stems. And that's a good way to just finish it off. So we've got our sheaf. What I would then be inclined to do is tie it again. So the reason I'm going to tie this again is actually to bring these stems together. At the moment they're going everywhere, but if we just tie it a little bit further down, then that's going to give us a better set of stems for actually having as a support. And I'm making this quite firm as well. Okay, so we've got our basic sheaf, quite big, but we want to tie it off now, or we want to cut it off. So what we do is just take it. This is going to be messy. So really I'm looking at 1/3 to 2/3. We want to cut it about here. And I'm just going to go straight across. So we're kind of straight across. Again, we're going to get a lot of material coming out. Now with a hand tie, normally what you would do is you would cut out a middle section. What we can do with this is really just bring it down. And that literally gives us our sheaf. So all we need to do now is look at a way of finishing our tying points. So what I've got is I've got this beautiful Hessian ribbon, and we're just going to lie this down. I just want to keep this really simple actually. So this is a nice thick ribbon, so it's good because it's covering our tie twine quite nicely. Actually, that's a better way of doing it. And I wouldn't worry about it too much. You want it to be slightly rustic. The good thing with that twine is or that Hessian is it sits quite nice. Now, so there we go. We've got our simple sheaf as a display, and then we can just add in our other ones just to create a little family to give a visual display that was easy to make, quite fun to make actually, a little bit messy, but definitely something eye-catching and worth giving a go. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and stay tuned to keep up to date with our next video.